this video in which you will learn how to write an article. First of all, what is an article? I think that I do not really have to tell you, as most of you have already read an article once in their life. But basically, an article is a piece of writing that is centered around a specific certain subject. This piece of writing can either be a part of a book or any other form of publication, such as a magazine or a newspaper. And an article can either be found online or be printed. So what is the function of an article? What is the purpose of an article? Why are articles even written? In general terms, there can be four main purposes. An article can be there to simply describe or inform about something. Secondly, it could also just be there to convince of a specific idea. Another function or purpose would be that of entertainment. And lastly and fourthly, an article can also fascinate its readership or audience. What about the target group of an article? Who are the people you are writing for? As mentioned before, since articles can be printed in magazines, newspapers, or books, the people who read those things are your readers, is your addressee, and also those readers who look up articles online are also included, and this suggests that your readership, your target group, is usually quite diverse. Good. Moving on to the fourth part. What parts does an article even consist of? So in the very beginning, you have an eye-catching title. This is then followed by an introduction. Thirdly, it consists of a main body, which is then again divided into 3 paragraphs. And lastly, an article ends with a conclusion. We will now look at each part in more detail, beginning with the title. So how can we write a title? What can a title look like? So here we have got 4 options. Your title can be a rhetorical question, meaning a question that does not necessarily demand an answer. The example provided here is weightlifting bad for our health? Another option for a title is if you directly address your readers. Have a look at the example here. What you have always wanted to know about. So please notice the use of you in this example. Another possibility would be to use nouns. Here we have Austria's cultural heritage. And lastly, the employment of adjectives is also recommended. In this example, it's luscious lollipops for cool kids. So these are options, possibilities on how you can write your title, which should be eye-catching and attention-grabbing. What about the introduction? So many people struggle with the first part of their article. How do we begin? Let me provide you with 9 possibilities. So the first possibility would be to simply begin with a surprising fact or a surprising statistic. What you can also do is pose a question or state something shocking or something that is bizarre. You can also provide a quotation or even describe a story. What you can also do to make it more simple is to simply just state the topic, the subject that you are writing about. If you can, Feel free to also provide a definition of the subject. Another possibility option would be to describe or provide an image, or lastly, just include a well-known phrase in your introduction. So here you've got 9 possibilities. What about the main body? This is one of the most important parts of your article. As you all know or should know by now, the main body consists of structured and well-organized paragraphs. And each paragraph contains one main idea. And as you all also know, is that every paragraph has to start with a clear topic sentence. And this topic sentence reflects the whole paragraph. It is a summary of this one paragraph. And then within the paragraph, after the topic sentence, you provide details and examples which elaborate this one main idea. And please be careful and sure that you pick details and examples that are relevant and also relatable for your target group, for your readers. Yes, so relevance is also the key. And also, in addition, make sure that your ideas are connected as well. And then the last part of your article is the conclusion. Again, let me provide you here with some possibilities on how to end. Here we have got 4. What you can do straightforwardly is to provide a summary of your main ideas, of your findings. You can also return to the beginning, meaning your introduction. Again, you can end with a question or a quotation. Or what's also nice is to just have an open end, meaning that you leave the readers, your reader, something to just think and reflect about. Good, so this was the structure of the article. Now what about the language? How do we write an article? Please keep in mind that the way you write your article always depends on the purpose, your target group, meaning your audience, and where the article is published. But generally speaking, an article is written in a relatively high register, meaning that you should avoid simplistic vocab. Secondly, depending on your audience again, an article can be formal to semi-formal. In this case, you should try to avoid abbreviations and contractions. And thirdly, an article is written in a neutral language. What does this mean? Well, it means that you should avoid over emotional, over personal descriptions, also descriptions which are extremely vivid. So try to keep it neutral. Some styles that you can employ in the article are rhetorical questions. Again, feel free to address your readers directly and employ other techniques to simply maintain their interest. We have now reached the end of this video. That is just summarize the most important points that you should keep in mind. So you have learned that an article can have several functions. The 4 ones that were discussed were to inform, to convince, entertain, and to fascinate. Secondly, your audience is relatively diverse and varied, usually readers of magazines, newspapers, and books, which can either be online or printed. Then an article consists of 4 main parts: an eye-catching title, an introduction that states the main topic, then the main body consisting of paragraphs which provide more details, and then a conclusion which can summarize your findings. And lastly, an article is written in a high register, can be formal to semi-formal, and it's also important to use neutral language. Good, so this is the end. I hope that you feel more secure, more informed to write your own article now.